What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Aave today. AAVE USD. Hit that like button, subscribe, and thank you all for being here. It is the 19th day of April. Here we are at about $92.92 with roughly 9 hours, 31 minutes left in the day. And I'm just scrolling through X here and seeing everybody throwing a BF about DeFi today. Uh, let's see. I mean, this is an example of that here. This is an example of that here. This is an example of that here. Shout out to Chain, right? There we go. No, by the way, guys, no DeFi is true DeFi. It's all centralized. It has to be, right? And even still, it has to be for functionality's sake, but also for security's sake. And it'd be more secure if it was decentralized, sure. But maybe not right now with current implementations, current infrastructure. Anyways, that's a discussion for another time. I don't want to get into it, but look, I want boring safety. It's all about this. People are theorizing that it's AI that's helping. I don't know. AI is probably also helping with security measures too. So I mean, there's that as well. I don't think we're out of time, but the fact that everybody it's becoming a joke. Man, get with the program, guys. Where have you been? We figured this out like multiple cycles ago that DeFi isn't actually DeFi. Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Monero, Dogecoin, even those are probably the best examples of DeFi, and they're not even DeFi protocols, but they're probably the best examples in crypto that we have. Maybe Cardano, right? Like an actual decentralized ecosystem too. But there's not many. Most DeFi cryptos, all of them, in fact, I will say all of them, have centralized points of authority that govern the whole thing. You have the facade of governance where you're allowed to vote for things, but the majority token holders are the ones who vote. Who do you think the majority token holders are? They're the ones that started the project, the founders, the team, the early investors. Your votes don't matter unless you're a top wallet holder. You could have 1,000 people with the bottom 1,000 wallets voting. One person with a top wallet eclipses 10 times that amount. It doesn't matter. Um, anyways, all I'm trying to say here is, and of course that's why token holder voting validation is a thing, because for one, it prevents voting of bots, but then for two, it also gives power to the people who have the most money invested, the centralized points of authority. But that's not. I'm not saying this in a way that's like, oh, DeFi is bad. Oh, you're finally just understanding now that DeFi is a joke. No, it's not a joke. DeFi is actually the next big thing, man. It really is, and it's not DeFi. It's more like centralized finance with crypto, with a hint of decentralization in there. Aave, I'm not trying to give you a whole lesson or my whole philosophy. I'm not trying to preach here. Aave is a great project. It's a great project, you guys. It's an absolutely phenomenal project. One of the largest hacks that has happened all year, that probably will happen all year, with a protocol, with a system that is directly influenced, or that Aave is directly influenced by, and they dropped 20%. Boo hoo. Boo hoo, man. From a high to a low. Guess what? You still got higher lows on this Black Swan event. And sure, it's going to go lower. But guess what? Even if Aave was here, even if it broke out higher, we'd still fully expect that the price would come back down. We're in a bear market. Of course it's going to come lower. I wouldn't be surprised if from here, with all this negative news and all these people, all these geniuses coming out of the woodwork, suddenly they have such an understanding of DeFi. I wouldn't be surprised if we started to move up in spite of all the negative FUD that's coming out, right? I really wouldn't be surprised. We'll see. Maybe they will get a large portion, if not the entirety, of the money that was hacked back. Sometimes that happens too. And then we see a sudden snap back in the price action as well. Very volatile here. A lot of volume. Enough about the news. Show me the charts. I'll tell you the news. A lot of volume here, and we didn't go anywhere. We didn't break out. This is breakout volume. We didn't break out. We got a higher low. That's good. Black Swan event, we've got higher lows. That's good. That's not a bad thing. And sure, this is newly developed information. Things can get worse. They absolutely can, and we'll see if they do. But let's do some TA. Let's shift away from the narrative, from all the BS that's happening here, and see if we can come up with anything that makes sense. Let's see. So looking at this on the 1 hour time frame. Yes. You moved down. It kind of looks like you're ready to move down. You had these higher lows here. You were kind of rounding out your top. Anytime we round out the top, you get a sudden stab down. I don't think this selling off would have been as extreme if it wasn't for the hack that happened with what was it? Not curved out. What was it? It was I'm having a hard time remembering. This stuff's just so not important to me that I have a hard time even remembering who was hacked. Who was it? Let's see. DeFi's a mess. It's always been a mess. This isn't new, man. We still invest in DeFi because it's the best thing. It's the advancement of money. Yeah. Has billions there pretty much every single DeFi. Infrastructure new chains. It's just fragility. Yeah. We already knew that, though. October 10th, guys, proved that the ecosystem's fragile. Man, people are freaking out. It's the best time to buy. It's probably a really good time to invest in DeFi projects. Shout out to Onyx Coin on that note. Again, understand no DeFi project is DeFi though. Just because you're figuring that out, don't come to some grand conclusion that every DeFi project's a scam. Kind of, but they're a scam in the sense of they're promoting something that's not actually there. But I don't know. Onyx Coin actually changed their protocol from DeFi. They took that out of the protocol name, I think, because they're wanting to be honest. But anyways, again, getting away from the narrative, I was trying to figure out who it was that was hacked. It was Kelp. Kelp, that's right. Kelp DAO was hacked. Anyways, Aave, 1 hour time frame. As we're moving lower, do you guys notice anything? You see that initial shift? That was a huge amount of money. That's probably where the hack happened. And then as time's going on, volume is dying off. It is dying off. It's a good thing, actually. It's like when you're moving up higher, you get volume, that's great. You're probably going to move higher. You move up higher and then there's no volume, that's bad. You're probably going to move lower. Show me the charts and I'll tell you the news. The news was bad. We didn't know it was going to be that bad, but we knew it was going to be bad at least. 1 hour time frame. And hindsight's 2020, of course. We had bearish divergence. You were rejecting your overbought zone. There was selling pressure here already. You're here. You're at the, and I bet this hacker waited until they saw that the momentum was running out. They're probably tactical to some degree, or maybe it was just a coincidence that it happened at the top of a run where you were already losing steam hours, like a day before that the actual event happened. The 1 hour RSI has a bit of a double bottom pattern in it. You look like you're ready to break out of this downtrend in the 1 hour RSI. The stochastics are coming up and the MACD is flipping green for the first time in a few days here. On the 1 hour, that's a big deal. So yeah, we probably move up. Everybody's waking up thinking that it's the best time to sell at Aave because now they know something that's instrumental. Or this, I know something that the dummies don't know. They're going to be holding this project until $1 billion, but I know it's a good time to sell now. And that's typically when we start to move up. I'm not saying that Aave is going to rip through to $200 from here. I'm just saying at least we found a relative low. Maybe we move up to $100, find resistance there. Maybe move up to $108. Maybe you do eat all of this back. Again, maybe there's some news that they found the money was returned, and then just as quick as it went, it comes back. Even with that, though, people are clearly timid about DeFi, so that in itself might cause some hesitation to the upside. If we were to move back up here, anybody who bought up here, anybody who bought here but didn't sell and they're waiting to sell, they might de-risk just because of the transgressions that have happened over the past 24 hours. If we look at this on the 4 hour time frame, the RSI has broken out of its uptrend. Again, when did you break out of your uptrend? Over here? That was before the hack. Show me the charts and I'll tell you the news. The stochastics are reset. They're oversold. The last time you were oversold is down here, relative low. The time before that you were oversold is here, relative low. The time before that was a relative low. The time before that, it was a relative low, but you did go lower. In all fairness, it's not always perfect, but just the idea here, again, not saying that we have to rip to the upside, but just that we could find a relative low and then from there find resistance at prior support, prior resistance, and then move down, something like that. Also, right around that $100 psychological level. We might go just above $100. People get excited for no reason, and then we crack down. I shouldn't say for no reason, but for not a good enough reason. The MACD is actually right at a point to find support. If we do find support here, that would actually be good. You're set up in a situation where we could see a V-shaped recovery. I'm not calling for that. I'm just saying this might not be as bearish as people are expecting it to be. The daily RSI did reject the overbought zone. Not good. Stochastics look bearish. You had a solid body up with a spinning top at the top, solid body down. That is a reversal signal. Yeah, as we're looking at this more and more, it seems pretty clear that we will not get past this point. Okay, this is likely the top. Likely, and that's so obvious now. All I mean there is that even if we do recover from here, we're likely not going to break above this. Unless Bitcoin goes on a bull run, unless all coins as a whole go on a bull run, but probably what's going to happen is we will find a lower high relative to this. We'll move up right now because everybody's panicking at the absolute like low area here, so that's probably a good time for us to move up a little bit. Just because we move up doesn't mean that we're going to move all the way up, right? The max bears on Aave, the panicers, panicans, they're coming out right now, And then you'll have your bros up here, your Aave bros, who'll come out and see, we went through the biggest hack of Aave's existence, of Kelp DAO's history, and we shook that off like it was nothing, and then we'll still dump off anyways. You're going to get both sides coming out, exposing their true genius at the worst possible times, and that's just how it is in crypto. Daily time frame, stochastics, the blue line is a far ways away from the orange line. We're right at the oversold zone. Anytime you see that, here you had a lot of separation, the blue from the orange, and that was a relative low point. Here you had a lot of separation, blue from the orange, that was a relative high point. So this, I think that we will find support. And with that, maybe we do cross through the threshold a little bit on the MACD, but you are bearish overall on your MACD. So the daily time frame clearly does state, in my opinion, that we're in a bearish kind of phase overall. That doesn't mean that we won't find support here. I bet we do. But yeah, Aave, I mean, even without this hack, I could have told you that we were going to go to lower prices than this level here. Very likely that we go to lower prices than that. We take this low from the bear market in June of 2022 to the high of the bull market in December of 2024. We're in the golden ratio zone. We're putting up a little bit of a fight. Not good enough. We're probably going to see the 786, 886 at some point, with or without this hack. It was already programmed in. $72, $58. That's where we're going to go. That very well could be the end of the bear market, and we get a higher low overall. And while everybody's thinking DeFi is dead, this will be the most opportunistic moment to invest in DeFi, and likely Aave will be getting set up for new all-time highs going into the later years, going into 2027 and maybe even 2028 as well. I don't have anything else to say. I just enjoy coming out while everybody's freaking out, and fear is so engaging. So I enjoy being the counterpoint to that fear anytime it happens, because it's not perfect. I've been wrong before, I'll be wrong again, but most of the time it works out pretty well. And I wouldn't be surprised if we were at a relative low point here where Aave, if you're looking to panic sell here, you might actually have a better opportunity here above $100, which isn't that much, but that is about a 10% difference. I could see a 10% difference in price, maybe even as much as like a 20% difference. I just doubt that we get above this high, though. I don't think that we'll see anything more than like 22% at the most, probably. I've got nothing else. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, hit the like button, subscribe, take care of yourselves. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.